2 quarters ago, I had a reflection that only 50% of my clients ever achieved their goal. And I wasn't happy with that. I said, that's on me.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, I wouldn't have had a tool that was called AI. So I wrote a system prompt
Mhm.
so that instead of spending more time finding out the tasks that you need to do to get the goal, we now
Yes.
spend more time on, is it the right goal? And we
Mhm.
let the AI figure out the task.
Welcome to CUB Spotlight. Today I'm joined by Chris, the founder of RiseWise Business and self-described Entrepreneur Alchemist. He left school at 15 with no formal education, has dyslexia, and has turned those challenges into a superpower while helping entrepreneurs moving from anxiety to confidence control. In this episode, we unpack his real journey, the systems he's built, and what actually separates people who scale from those who stay stuck. If you're building something and want unfiltered conversations with people who are in the trenches, this one is for you. Let's get into it. Welcome to CUB Spotlight.
Thanks, man. This is
Welcome.
very, very interesting.
Yeah, I
Hear what
appreciate
you're
it.
up to.
Yes, no, very much so. I had someone ask me the other day why this, like why the project, and my understanding was like, look, I love to hear stories, so does everybody else, because everyone loves to hear a good story until why people do what they do. So it's more or less getting to like the why, and then also how you got there, like what challenges you face, like how do you wish if there's anything that you would have changed in the past 5 years, like what would have you have done different? And then obviously because of the switch in AI technology for the past like 10 years, how has that been either a good or a bad impact to you? And how do you find that you
Hmm.
push through those challenges and just, yeah, ultimately, yeah, either make a better or challenging more life for yourself just to push through it. And yeah, I see it as something, if that people find value behind it, then there's something that they want to set up on a continuous basis. That's something that I would love to do for them. However, I need to know that they find value out of it before obviously that happens. So
Hmm.
face value comes at a price sometimes. However, it's also a good thing because they understand what's going to come out of it, not just obviously what comes before it. So yeah.
Cool. Well, happy to be led by you.
Yes, of course. So
I'm going to call you Ray Martin from now on, Mr.
Ray
Martin.
Martin.
You can run this interview.
Absolutely. So, for those of you who don't know him, he's the founder of RiseWise Business, where he works as an entrepreneur. Is it alchemist?
Alchemist, yes.
I love that word. I love that word. He left school at 15 with no formal education, has dyslexia, and has still managed to publish 4 books while building a business that helps entrepreneurs in allied health, professional services to move from anxiety to confident control. Today, we're going to unpack his journey, how he's turned his challenges into strengths, and what he's learned about building real confidence as an entrepreneur. It's Chris. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, give me, for someone like myself who wouldn't fully understand, based off reading that, as to what you do, walk me through it.
Yeah. What I do and why I call myself an entrepreneur alchemist is really the key. Because when I meet someone, I don't want anyone to put me in a box.
Mhm.
I'd rather you say, well, that's interesting. What's that? But that's actually what my clients have told me they get from working with me. So you could call me a coach or you could call me a consultant, you can call me whatever you want to. But everyone, and I found this out by asking them, like, what do you get from working with me? And everyone said a transformation. I was a person that suffered from some form of anxiety. Now, no one is going to admit I've got anxiety, right?
Yeah.
But they have some degree. Do you know the difference between anxiety and depression? Can I clear that up for you?
It's, I know that one is would it be correct to say that one is a responsive, one is a reactive?
Yeah, you probably, but I classify it as one is a fear of the past, that's
Okay.
depression,
Yeah.
and anxiety is a fear of the future. So it
Oh, yeah.
doesn't like there's different scales. I can't get out of bed. I'm worried about the future that much, or I've missed my life that I used to have, versus a lot of the people that they just don't have the confidence
Mhm.
in their business journey, and that's where I come in.
Yeah.
I've always, the cliche, been a champion of independence. So small business, literally fighting
Yeah.
large businesses. Like it is a war out there, and
Mm.
there's not enough people champion small
Yes.
business. So in this niche that I'm working at, like I want there to be more dentists,
Mm.
not corporate dentists. I want
Yeah.
there to be more accountants, more architects. And the reason there isn't, they go to university, they come out of uni, and they go, I'm going to get a job at Deloitte's, for example. I'm going to be an accountant at Deloitte's.
Mm.
And very quickly, the reason they become an accountant bubble busts. They're in this corporate machine that is driven by KPIs, and corporate teaches us good things. They're not always the villain, but they say, look, I reckon I can do this on my own. And then they go out on their own and find the real world is very, very different because the job of university was never to teach you how to run a business, right? It's not,
Mm.
it's to be a good technician. But then they come out in the real world and they find it's very, very difficult
Mm.
and go back into corporate. My job is to meet you at that point and go, mate, we can do this. Like you can
Yeah.
make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's the
It's
transformation part, how I bring that all together.
Of course, of course. It sounds like you are an assistant in helping them move like a psychological shift within their brain where it's like they have this road barrier that they feel like, or this roadblock, I should say, that they feel like stops them. And then you actually say to them like, hey, we can move this. You just haven't given yourself permission to do it.
You haven't given yourself permission. You don't have the tools.
Hmm. Hmm.
So an alchemist, by definition, takes elements and turns them into gold. I don't
Yeah.
think I do any differently. I've got elements that I apply to you, turns you into gold. Or the
Yeah.
entrepreneur uh, who wants to make a like if you've got a passion and a vision of why you wanted to be a dentist or why you wanted to do, I want to help you fulfill that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it seems like you want to. It seems like like genuinely want to help people reach their highest performing status that they can, like the highest achievement that they can, because people,
Yeah.
like we said before, they have a roadblock where it's either in performance or like, mental clarity, and you are essentially the alleviator between the roadblock and the upper level where they actually can be, where they don't think they can be. Because like you
Fully
said, right, it's
expressed.
confidence.
Fully expressed.
Yeah.
But I don't want there to be a world where we are just driven by corporates,
Hmm.
where we've lost all our local, let's call it local trades.
Yeah.
Um, and if you looked around, the amount of corporate dentists or independent dentists, they're not growing.
Yeah.
There's no audiologists that don't work for, and there should be. Like
Yeah.
we need these people. They
Yeah.
care more than corporates. And
Yeah.
in our AI world, we'll probably get there. The difference between us and the machines is just going to be the caring. It
Yeah.
hasn't got any.
Yes.
It's the
That is so
machine.
true. It's so true. It's so true. That's one thing that I feel like people who aren't that well versed in, let's say the AI world, for example, it's like they say it could do so much for us, sure. However, people always crave human connection at the end of the day because we have very little of it. People always
Mm,
crave human connection. That's where confidence comes from. That's where, like you said, that's where building people up comes from. You can't get that from a machine. That you simply cannot.
mm. No, so never fear it. Work it.
Yes, yeah. I
And
I
you
I
hear,
think
oh, it's going to take my job. Mm, mm, mm.
mhm.
Not if you're going to lean into it, it won't.
How many people have you heard say that in the past 6 months, would you say?
Oh, yeah. If I
Too
had a
many?
dollar, I'd probably have a few more investment properties. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting. And
100%,
but if you
100%.
challenge them, do you know anybody?
Oh, for me, well, I've heard people say it, and I'm like, well, look at it two ways. Is that is you could let it take a job, or you use it as an assistant, use it to help you do your job even better. that's what I usually
If you
say.
challenge them, Tez, have you ever said, but actually, do you know anybody? Or
Mm.
is this a thought, or this
Mhm.
is like evidence based?
Yeah, that's a good
And
question.
they'll actually all go, no, but I've read it somewhere.
Yeah. That's actually a great question, no, because I've never asked them that. Like obviously, like challenging them on that question, and they would probably sit there and be like, "Oh, well, no, we just think because we've heard it from other people." That's where they base it,
Hmm.
though. That's where they base their facts from most nowadays. It's like from other people. It's like, well,
Yeah.
do your due diligence. You might actually find something out that you'd be surprised by. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And probably if someone did lose their job, they were probably going to lose it anyway. Like,
yeah. Yeah, because I feel like if you have that fear factor, let's say that, anxiety factor, because like you said, right, anxiety is for the future. If you had that feeling in your stomach already, right, that deep thought, that deep feeling, then it's already a contributing factor to what might even come down the road. Because if you're feeling that fear,
yep,
then it's just going to
you'll
take hold.
manifest it.
Yeah.
You will manifest that. It will be reality
Mhm.
really quickly.
Yeah. I'd love to ask you, has that ever affected you in the past?
um, a fear of losing my job.
Well, let's say because what you help people with doing, right, is that something that you wish you had, like, let's say 5 or 10 years ago when you originally started what you do?
Yes, yeah, I do. Because I use AI significantly.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I'm not a 21-year-old, as you can tell,
Of
and I'm
course.
very proud of myself
Yeah.
for, like, I'm not an old man when it comes to technology. I'm up there. I'm trying to, because I'm always, uh, I care a lot about my people that I work with, my clients, and I
Yeah.
always want to have them get a better result, right? So sometimes, just to give you an example,
Yeah.
every quarter we do a planning day with everybody. We'll come together, write an action plan for the next quarter. I've
Yes.
done 40 of them,
Yeah.
and 2 quarters ago, I had a reflection that only 50% of my clients ever achieved their goal. And I wasn't happy with that. I said,
Mhm.
that's on me.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, I wouldn't have had a tool that was called AI. So I wrote a system prompt
Mhm.
so that instead of spending more time finding out the tasks that you need to do to get the goal, we
Yes.
now spend more time on, is it the right goal? And we
Mhm.
let the AI figure out the task.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a guy that I follow called Dan Martell, and he's got
Yes.
if you might have heard of him, he's got a
Yeah.
rule called the 10-80-10 rule.
Mhm.
You do the 10 at the beginning, you let the AI do the 80, and you do the 10 at the end. So
Mhm.
we're spending more time. Is it the right goal? Right? Let the AI figure out, uh, do 5 LinkedIn posts. You don't need to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
And then the last 10 is this relevant? Because it might say you need to update your website. Well, I've just done it. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
know that. It's a freaking machine, right? So the last 10 is the reality check.
Yeah.
But I'm proud to tell you that the last quarter, 100% of
That's a
everyone achieved their goal. So would I have liked to have done that 5 years ago? Yes, I would have.
yeah.
Because imagine if you'd been able to go to everyone, 100% of you are going to get the goal when you got the right goal. So let's focus on getting that part right and let the machine do what it does well. And then we'll have our last 10, the human, is this relevant? So there's just a practical example. Would I have liked to have it 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Hell,
That's
because
incredible.
it didn't sit well that 50% of people didn't get their goal. Lucky 50 did, right?
Yeah.
But I even asked the AI, if I apply
Yeah.
uh, this system prompt, what's the result I'm going to get? And it said it'll reduce the time by 2 hours and increase the probability by 30%.
Wow.
So,
That's
okay,
incredible.
let's go. Let's go. Yeah, yeah,
See, that's the best way. That's the most efficient way to use it. Putting in systems, how can you make it better? How can you improve it? Take it from like a level 1 to like level 100 in a short amount
yeah.
of time. That's what it's there for realistically. And people don't realize that. People don't realize that.
But
I
it's
want to
it's
go.
adding human and the AI together because
Mhm,
none would have been as good without the other. So if it wasn't the right goal that the human came up with,
mhm.
and if the AI hadn't gone into the details of the tasks, but when you add the human and the intelligence, like you get a better result.
100%. Absolutely. Well, it's all about, well, machine learning comes from us humans at the end of the day. Without the
Hmm.
information, it can't learn off of anything. So we have to give it the information that we know, and it just amplifies that into a more, I should say, smarter, technically, smarter result, like a more improved
Hmm.
result. I would love to go back on the part
Yeah.
where you said you put in the, what was it? We were just talking about it before. You put in the, you said that you got 50% of results from your clients,
Yeah.
right? And the one thing that caught me as 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 a breath of fresh air is that you actually took accountability for it, not them. Like
Yes.
you were actually at fault for it. They weren't. How much, like how important was that for you to do that in that moment rather than be the first person to blame is the client?
It's always been my values.
Hmm.
Everything starts and stops with me. It's total accountability, not for everything, the good and the bad. So it's like it's me. It's my
Yeah,
values. It just happens to apply to this type of business. It's always been the way I've worked
yeah,
or lived my life. 100% above the line, no excuses. Just own it,
yeah.
learn from it,
Hmm.
move on with it. Like it's
That's
a it's a DNA. It's I don't know what you want to call it, but it's not a learnt skill. This is me.
yeah,
I just if someone that works the positive as well,
yes,
like it's
of
not always
course.
the negative.
Yeah,
I celebrate a win as much as somebody else does.
yeah. That's
They're
incredible.
my wins.
Yeah, 100%. I love that determination of conviction that that you express there because it shows a lot about you as a character and as a person as well. So
Hmm.
it's an incredible trait to have. The
So
next
an
question.
audiologist customer the other day shared that I'm coaching shared that she reached 1,900 clients
Wow,
now in 6 years. That's a win for
that's
me.
incredible.
That's a win for me. The impact that she's having on her community,
Yeah,
like I'm so happy that I've been part of that journey with her because together uh, she had the impact, but I supported her to really, who knows where she'd be, but 1,900 people who've now got better hearing because she runs a better business. Um, I'm a win. Equally,
yeah.
the person who didn't achieve their goal, I'm taking that personally responsible, and I know how to fix it, and I fix it for the future.
It must feel so incredible for you to be able to say that and be proud of it.
Hmm, it is.
That's
It's
incredible.
emotional, actually. I'm feeling a little bit of it now.
Yeah, no, good on
Yeah.
you. I love that. So you mentioned that learning to work around dyslexia has shaped you who you are
Yeah.
today, right? I want to know how has it actually influenced the way you approach business and helping other entrepreneurs along the way?
Hmm. Uh, it's well, I was never diagnosed. I left school so early because
Yeah,
my father at the time, we're talking in the 70s,
yeah,
he said, "You're slow.
mhm,
Like, why bother going to school? You're slow."
mm,
I'm not slow. Actually, I'm quite intelligent, but
yes,
I just suffer from dyslexia. So the subconscious workaround that you build if you have this, uh, it's not a problem, but if you have this, is you become very creative because you don't learn the same way as you probably learn. I have to learn differently.
hmm,
And I learn so how I use how I use dyslexia in my business is
yeah,
um,
that's okay. That's all right.
don't try to have PowerPoint slides. They're never going to work for you. You better be genuine. You better know your stuff because
Yeah,
if you're going to try to think you're going to read a prompt, it isn't going to happen.
yeah,
But seriously, it's that creativity.
hmm,
So how I apply it now. we spoke about IO. I'm creative with that way.
Mm,
I create playbooks
mhm,
that clients can use in their business. So creatively have solved problems. So I've got involved in some when I worked in corporate for the Metcash Group, where I created a problem that was going to cost a few $1 million,
mm.
$2.5 million to be exact. I
Wow.
had to creatively figure out a way to get out of that problem. And I
Yeah.
did successfully. I went
Yeah.
to my boss at the time and said, he was still really pissed off with me. And I said, Gary, his name, aren't you happy that I solved the problem? And the way that I solved the problem? He goes, no, I didn't want you to have the problem to start with. I don't care how you solved it. Anyway, so
Yeah.
always, I'm very creative, whether it's making a playbook, creating a new, uh, I've just created a new this week board report. So I have some customers that I sit as an external board in their business,
Hmm.
right? So I've
Yeah. Wow.
created the template that they need to present their results to this external board that sits there. So I created all that template. I got it tested with an accountant. He's gone, yeah, you've nailed it. So creativity is how I get around um, dyslexia and use it to it's my superpower now because
Yes.
I'm so creative. Give me something I need to work on. I'll come up with a creative solution to any problem, any roadblock. There is always a creative way to get around it.
There really is. There always is and always will be and always has been.
Yeah, but sometimes when you're in it, you can't see it.
Hmm.
So last
Yes.
week there was a customer's got an IT business, and they were going to. They said we're starting to notice that we're going to lose some customers because of the economics. There's a bit of pressure on price, and we're getting it, so we're going to offer discounts. The creative solution that we come up with to make the story short was though think outside the square. What else could you add to your offer that wasn't a discount? Because they naturally just went to let's give a discount, which
Mm.
would have been the profit that they made on somebody, right? They're
Hmm.
just going to give
Yeah.
away all their profit. What we came up with, which was creative, was they have other suppliers who would gladly pay for an introduction to your database,
Yes.
right? A
Yeah.
warm, like, so instead of, well, uh, here is a complimentary wealth planning or estate planning with this lawyer. Just go on I'm paying for it. You go and work this out, this estate planning, which what it was.
Yeah.
And it went down like fantastically. But their uncreative mind, it was just one to two. I came into it and says, hang on, there's a creative way to solve both of these problems, and everybody is a winner.
Yeah.
Uh, so you apply creativity that way, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Wow.
But with someone
Yeah.
who hasn't got dyslexia, they're not going to even go to. They're going to be more logical. They're going to go, well,
Yeah.
we're just going to give a discount.
Yeah. Well, I feel, yeah, like you said, it's like people who, for example, let's put in the neurotypical versus neurodivergent brain, right? Where let's use the dyslexia for an advantage. And you think of incredibly creative ways, like you just explained before, right? Is where you add on to what's already being offered versus decreasing the price and losing profit. You that's incredibly creative way to go about it versus someone who wouldn't be as creative, wouldn't have that advantage, and decides to decrease the price even more, lose that profit while not adding anything onto it, and they just lose that. That's
Mm,
two different completely ends of the spectrum where we for a fact know, which you just said this then, one will be the better option compared to the other one.
yeah, yeah. And I just I'm a big fan of Sir Richard Branson, obviously the
Yes.
most
Yeah.
famous
Yeah.
dyslexic person that we have.
Yeah.
Like If he would add
Incredible.
playbooks for everything he would have done, man, I'd have them all.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, no, it's incredible. So you've published 4 books.
Yeah.
What was that journey like, and what made you decide to write them in the first place?
Um, an update
Hmm.
in the next month will be up to 8.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, good on you. Double.
Yeah,
Incredible.
doubled. So I had some ebooks that I'm transferring to published books. So I've got 4
Yeah.
published, but we've got 4 ebooks that we're moving. The first 4 I did. I started 2019,
Yeah.
just before we went into our lockdowns and the famous 2020s. I don't even use the name of that time anymore.
Yeah.
But I did it for myself, firstly,
Hmm.
because of this dyslexia.
Yeah.
uh, I said, I have a voice. I want to be known for something. I want to make a statement.
Yes.
And whether it's value for somebody, that'd be great. But if it's not, I'm okay with that. So I hired a coach, a writing coach, and I did it professionally.
Hmm.
And yeah, and then it became therapy
Yes.
because we were isolated. I lost half of my client base. So I had some time up
Wow.
my sleeve.
Yeah.
Um, my relationship is a long distance one with my partner. She's Canadian,
Yeah.
and we couldn't see each other for 18 months. So I channeled my inner Ernest Hemingway and
Yeah.
got a writing desk and I put it in the sunshine.
Yeah.
And I didn't write because I would speak to a piece of software called Otter, which would
Yeah.
transform your spoken word into text. I
Yeah.
did my best, send it off to editors, and I don't want to bore you with the process. But
Yeah, that's
the
fine.
way I did it was I had a voice and I wanted to say something.
Hmm.
It then became therapy and it was very good therapy because we were locked down and I was separated from Kathy for minimum was 18 months.
Mm.
It was great therapy. And
Yeah.
then and yeah, I never sold a lot of books,
Yeah.
but that's why, like I said, I didn't go into it for that.
Yeah.
But the first 4 was retail books because my background was retailing and wholesaling, so they were very
Right.
much
Okay.
niched into that way. These aren't. The
Yeah.
last 4 aren't. They're more
Hmm.
leadership style, and but that's how they come about. I ended up getting some bookings for keynote speakers out of them. So I did make
Wow.
some coin because the
Yeah.
stories are always very powerful. And we
Yeah.
don't always want to hear about someone who's climbed Everest. Sometimes we want to hear some real stories.
Yes. No, of course.
And I'm still so proud of myself, even for these next 4, are probably even better than the last 4. But yeah, that's how I got in it. And I'd encourage anybody and everybody, you've all got a story.
Yeah.
Tell
That's
it,
incredible.
get it
I
out
love
there.
that. Look, you should be proud of yourself because I haven't seen
Thank
any
you.
any of your books personally. However, I'm proud of you. So good on you.
Well, as soon as these next 4 are done, you'll get a little packet in the mail.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate that. Looking forward to it. Hey, I love learning, love reading, and yeah, it's only just become a passion of mine. So yeah, it's exciting.
Nobody throws books out.
Yes, that's very true. It's very true. I can see well by your bookshelf behind you.
Yeah,
You don't throw books out, so
there's a bunch of mine are over there.
yeah.
I'm just smart. I'm just smarter having them behind me. I just
Yeah.
I just look at them. I don't read them, but I'm just smarter because I have them.
You know what? I might have to do that for now on. Put books behind me. I
I'm
love
just
that.
smarter because I got
Yeah,
them.
true, true. Oh, awesome. So you call yourself an entrepreneur alchemist. What does that title actually mean to you, and how do you help entrepreneurs turn anxiety into confident control?
Mm. Well, I have elements like an
Yes.
alchemist in the old time that took lead and all these things and transformed somebody. I have elements in I've my business has a model that we follow, and
Yeah.
there's 3 parts to it. Like I said, we meet somebody with anxiety. Uh, they often have no choices, so everything at that early stage is say you've been in business for 3 years, you're still very reactive. You don't have choices. Everything
Yes.
generally is just problem, react, which doesn't give you a very good balance of life. So I'm going to resolve that issue first. We're going to stop you being reactive so that you can have a balance. The way we're going to go about that is you're going to need some sales and marketing. There's no doubt about it. My philosophy on that is you should do what you can do, not what someone tells you should do. So we're going to write a plan. So if all you can do is LinkedIn, just do LinkedIn. Do it really, really well. But then we're going to teach you about the financial mastery. So imagine an aeroplane, there's all those they're just giving you feedback. If you don't have a dashboard, like if you don't have any feedback what's going on, you will hit the hill.
Yeah.
You'll run into it. So you need to have the financial mastery about running this business. And thirdly, you're going to need, as I spoke before, an action plan. So that's how I get you a balanced life. Stop being reactive because now you've been proactive. The next phase of that is you're starting now to surround yourself with a team. But you often hear, have you ever heard this? I've got people that are working for me, but everything still ends up in my inbox. Like I
Yes.
still end
Oh,
up, I'm
yes.
actually now working twice as hard as
Yeah.
when I didn't have anybody.
The amount of people that say that is astronomical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time. So you've got no help, even though you've got a lot of help, and that's why you actually employed people. So to get
Yeah.
you the freedom that you should have, we've got to work on your culture.
Yeah.
Again, Richard Branson, right?
Yes.
Culture eats strategy for breakfast. If
Yeah.
the culture of that business isn't defined and written on the wall behind you, then it's not really a culture. So
Yeah.
what is the culture? Because that becomes the rules of our game.
Yes.
How we all turn up.
Mhm.
This is what we do. Then the next thing is we're going to develop that team into a
Mhm.
winning team. So
Mhm.
there's things we do there. We use disc profiling, but it's not it's helping them be their best self, not that it's broken. Like
Yeah.
people think they've got to fix my team. They don't. They have to fit their team. There's a difference, right?
Yes.
Generally, people turn up to go to work with the best intention. They're not all saboteurs. They're not
Yeah.
there to destroy you,
Yeah.
but you've got to give them the opportunity to be their best selves, right?
Absolutely.
And lastly is your productivity. Because remember, as an owner or an entrepreneur, everything you say and do is law,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
If you're walking around your practice eating your lunch in your hand, I feel guilty going out and doing shopping because Chris is walking like it's law.
Yeah.
If I don't greet you in the morning, because I always greet you in the morning, but today I don't say, hi, Chris, how are you? I'm on tenterhooks all day expecting
Yes.
I've done something wrong. And
Yeah.
soon enough,
Yes.
you're going to come and say,
Yeah.
come into my office.
Yeah.
But all I did was not say hello to you this morning.
Yeah.
Like everything you say and do is law. So when
Mhm.
we're thinking about your team, we've got to know, okay, well, leadership is if I want you to have a healthy life, then you need to have a lunch break. I need to have a lunch break. So that gives you permission to have a lunch break
It's very true. It's very
or
true.
go
It's
home early or whatever that is. But whatever you say and do is law. So I have to help the owner be more productive with their time because, like, probably they are being productive, but if
yeah.
they got to get out on time or not get to, then they have to be really conscious about what they're working on
Yeah.
and their productivity. The third, which is what a lot of people don't talk about, which is burnout. Like
Yes.
this is real,
Mhm.
and I incorporate it in my offer. So we're going to work on limiting beliefs, believe it or not, add to burnout because you're saying to yourself, I can't, and therefore it doesn't. So like we got to challenge those beliefs because they will unlock a path to you being fulfilled. But we have many ways to support you. Uh, a simple one that I can share is put in your calendar today all the holidays and all the time away from the business that you expect to have in the next year.
Yeah.
Just put it in today.
Mm.
If it's in your calendar, it's most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
If it's an afterthought, well, I
Yeah.
won't actually have that long weekend. Like I
Yeah.
won't.
The
If
weekend's going to
it's
turn into a long weekend of work.
Yeah, so they're the three milestones that we're working on.
Hmm.
Give you the tools so that you're not reactive.
Yes.
Make sure that your team can work independently and everything doesn't end up in your inbox.
Hmm.
And thirdly, address the elephant in the room, because I've never met a soul who will achieve what they want in life if they're sitting under their desk in a fetal position saying, I hate my business.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. And we don't talk about it enough. So it's
Of course.
part of what I think is important in entrepreneurship, and as an alchemist, these are the elements that are going to build your confidence.
Yes.
So I hope that
Absolutely.
made sense and wasn't too boring. Like,
No, that was incredible. I loved that. I loved every bit of it. Like I think your knowledge is way above my expertise on what I know about what you do. However, because my brain, obviously I don't have this dyslexia I've got because I was diagnosed with ADD in high
okay.
school. So I took to heart in a very glad way that you said obviously not everyone works the same. People are going to be working a different system, like creatively, where others will work at it logically. Like people who have different brain chemistries and different wired systems will work in a way that not many people are used to and not many people are like know about. And that's where the best ideas come from. Easily the best ideas, the most creative ideas, the most efficient, maybe sometimes efficient, maybe not efficient. However, they're definitely something that people look at, be like, how the hell does this even work? And then you say, well, look, watch me do it. They look at you do it and they're like, what the fuck? How did that even work? Like how do you know? And then you're just like, well, it's you just have to try it and see what happens realistically. Like I'd assume that's what you would have done with when you sent off the reports for the business owners, like we were saying a while ago. You would have used a way that you said, well, I've always had this thought. I want to put this into action, see if it works. You gave AI a prompt. It gave you back a system, improved system. You used that to your absolute advantage, and it gave you back like double the results, doubles the results than what it did last time.
Yeah,
So that's where you could really have the biggest advantage with something that earlier on you find as a disadvantage for you. However, you learn to use it as an advantage in the long run.
totally.
Mm.
But somebody else with a different programming
Yeah.
uh, would have just gone deep, 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 deep
Yeah.
down, and still be probably testing and testing and testing and testing and
Yes.
testing,
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
discover
Yeah.
and therefore, and it's not wrong. It's just like if you want an individual to really go deep on a topic, you know who to ask.
Absolutely. That's incredible. That's incredible. So a lot of business owners, we spoke about this just before, they struggle
Mm.
with imposter syndrome or anxiety, especially when they're growing. What's one of the most common patterns that you see, and how do you help them break it?
I think education and self-reflection
Hmm.
is how we go about breaking the imposter syndrome. So understanding that you didn't come with a manual about how to do this. It's like give you permission. It's okay to it's okay to fake it before you make it, because you're doing something different or you're learning a new skill. So like it's okay to
Yes.
feel this way. Understand that you've got a support network around you who's not going to judge you, who's not going to let you fall, who's probably made mistakes in those mistakes so that you don't have to make them again. Like somebody said to me once, it's good to make a mistake so that you learn from it. Yeah. Why? 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 What do you want to do that for?
Yeah.
And the other part is education. So I use uh, particularly these DISC reports, if you've not come across it, which is a behavior tool.
Yes.
So it's been around forever, but it's a
Yeah.
behavior tool which helps the person understand how they behave, how the world sees them behave.
Hmm.
So through awareness or education, you can say, in this situation, this is probably how I'm going to respond or act. So, like, will you ever get over imposter syndrome? Yeah, I think you eventually evolve past it, but
Hmm.
it only happens through uh, trial, not the
Yeah.
error,
Hmm.
trial. Be aware that you're not the first, and it is like okay. You've got a support network around you who's going to make sure that the worst thing is not going to happen, and then understand how the world sees you react in
Yes.
circumstances so that you have the confidence. But it will pass.
Yeah.
Like everything, it will pass. You
Hmm.
just got to pay it respect, understand it's okay, um, be aware of how you go, and like everything, it will pass. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how we go. We just
Yeah.
make sure you're
It's
aware, give you the
yeah.
tools, make sure you're supported correctly.
Hmm.
It's okay to ask for help. Like,
Hmm.
it is okay.
Yeah. Well, that's why us humans are here for a majority of the time is that we if we need help, then we will do what we can to find that help, whether it's research, whether it's finding a person who's been there and done it. They can show us what they faced, like what problems they faced, what to avoid. However, you still might avoid them, or we still might obviously come into counter with them. However, it's always the like you said before, you need to make mistakes in order to know what it feels like and in order to be able to grow from it. Because if you don't make
Yeah.
those mistakes, then you're going to be completely oblivious to it.
So a case study, this guy, he's a fantastic human. His name is Matt.
Yeah.
2025 was not a great year for Matt.
Hmm.
And we did a lot of changes because he had this still imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
He's got two businesses now. He's got two
Good on
businesses.
him.
Got a team of 15, but he
Yeah.
still suffers from imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
Last year was not a good year for Matt.
Hmm.
Anyway, we put a new structure in place. We did some stuff, but fundamentally, Matt had to overcome the fact that he had to be vulnerable to his team.
Right.
So hard for him. He had to go to them and say those words. Last year was not a good year for me. I need your help. Can you imagine it? That I don't want people to know that I need help.
Yeah.
So I supported Matt. We went through his disc. Remember, you're a people person, so naturally it's going to be very hard for you to share and be vulnerable. Even
Yeah.
harder, Matt, because you're a fella,
Hmm.
right? And you're a
Hmm.
muscly fella. You're a gym junkie.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. But he did it to his credit because he had the support and the knowledge. And the feedback was, I got 10 times more back than I ever
Wow.
expected. All the team took it on. Yeah, like part of our values, our core values, like this is one of them. We have to share. We
Hmm.
can't hide stuff. He went to them literally and said, I need your help.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
all stepped up, gave him what he wanted, and then went a bit further. And he just said, I can't, I'm just blown away. Why didn't I do that the year before?
Yeah.
Well, because you didn't tell me about it the year before. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
let's
How
let's
how how is he
let's
today?
deal with it. Sorry.
How is he today?
He hasn't got over the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
He's still guessing himself all the time, but
Yeah.
he's not repeating 2025.
Of
He's
course.
enjoying life, and naturally, I have this belief that as you grow, your business follows you. It doesn't go the other way. Like you don't buy a big business and then hope as the entrepreneur you'll take it any higher.
Yes.
Matt is now in a week writing business that when he first started with me, he thought was a big number in a
Yeah.
year. So he's now doing in a week what
Yes.
he what he was happy to do in a year, he now
Wow.
does it in a week because he's growing, his business is following him. Like I
Yeah.
just said, he was vulnerable with his team. They all stepped up and went a bit further because
Mhm.
he was growing.
Yes.
He was learning. He's learning new stuff. His business follows him because his team were then going, okay, maybe we've got to treat this person as a human and not just as whatever they were. But like he's in a really, really good place today.
Yeah.
Uh, Business growth down to only working 4 days a week and now has an EA to help him, has outsourced all his meals, all of his domestic duties. Like he's bought back all of his time.
Yeah. That's
He's in a good
incredible.
spot.
It sounds amazing. That's an incredible story. I appreciate you sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes
Did
it real. We're not just talking about
oh
theories, right? This
yeah,
is really happening for people just like your audience. Like it,
yeah,
Matt's a 35-year-old.
yeah. Oh, it's going from theoretical to practical,
Hmm.
which is incredible. Did you learn anything yourself when working with him?
Um, did I learn something? I guess the to trust my instincts as well. I knew
Yeah,
it was the right thing to push him because you got to know when to push or when to pull back,
yeah,
right? And I knew that I had to get him over the hump because there was a
yes,
brighter day at the other end of the hump. So probably a less mature Chris might have gone, I don't
yeah,
want to push. Like that's
hmm
not the right thing to do.
hmm
You're making him feel uncomfortable, but
hmm
it was for his benefit. So
Oh,
I
absolutely.
knew. So yeah, what did I learn? Your intuition probably is
It's correct.
correct.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Don't
incredible.
second
No.
guess yourself.
Yeah. No, I think that's the worst thing that a lot of people do, unfortunately, is that they second guess a lot up here, but what happens down here is totally different. So,
Mm.
yeah, you work specifically with entrepreneurs in allied health and professional services. What makes that group so unique in terms of the mindset challenges that they face?
Well, they're the niche that gets the best out of me. I do have clients who are not in those niches,
Okay.
and that's okay.
Hmm.
They're diamonds, these people outside, but those particular niches, it's a funny thing about niches. My background has nothing to do with any of those. As I said, I left school at 15. I haven't got any qualifications at all. I've never went to university, but all of these people chose me. I didn't choose them.
Yes.
They chose me.
Yeah.
And we get sometimes messed up in our heads about, I've got to have a niche. Which niche should I choose? I had a look at who'd already chose me. These groups get the most out of me. And I
Mhm.
guess it's the how we blend together.
Mhm.
So those groups of people who I give advice to uh, just get the most out
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
Mhm.
there are people who are in constructions who get equal, but like they are unique individuals,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
just gel, right? You
Yeah.
couldn't say no. You couldn't
Yeah.
say no. I got a startup guy, right?
Yes.
Before in the construction industry, he approached me before he was even full time. Will you coach me? I said, no, you're not even full time. Like this isn't even a business. Go away. And then he come back and he said, okay, I'm going to go full time. And I said, yeah, but like
Yeah.
your revenue is about $4,000 a week. Like, how's this going to work? Go away. He said, well, what's it got to be? And I said, well, Doug, you should be turning over at least this. Go away. And he come back. He said, now I'm full time and I've got this in the bank. Will you coach me? And I said, damn, snookered. And it's
Oh
been a
wow.
fantastic relationship ever since.
Oh, it's good. No, I'm happy to hear that. It's awesome. It's
But
awesome.
yeah, they're the people who chose me.
Yeah.
They get the as actually the best as far as what's best mean, but
Yes.
they achieve more.
Yeah.
Uh, I obviously have some skills that these people identify as valuable.
Yep.
And maybe it's because I don't have the university structure. Maybe I go about stuff creatively, but uh, and it's my passion, you know. I want them to be. I don't go back to the fighting for the small guy. I
Yes.
want them to be successful. I don't want us to be run by corporates.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you'd want them to dominate in their field of expertise, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I just want them to be able to have the impact that they want to have, that and communities are going to benefit because a corporate will never give the service that an
Hmm.
independent audiologist will, or a dentist, or a chiropractor, or a landscape uh, designer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew, and where this come from, if you'll indulge me for a second,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you knew that I was the key person who founded IGA supermarkets in Australia in 1998.
Wow, really?
Yes. So
Wow.
at the time, there was 27 so it wasn't like I started a supermarket, like they already existed, but they were unorganized.
Okay. Yeah.
And my job was to get them all to come together under one banner
Hmm.
so that we could be competitive against Coles and Woolworths,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Can you see the thread? It's how
Yes.
it started way back then. Obviously,
Yeah.
I was successful because they exist today.
Yes.
Uh, but it was a long journey, a hard, tough journey. But it, uh, we just can't have a world run by Coles and Woolworths.
Yeah.
We just can't have. So that this has been my passion that I didn't even know I had, but
Yes.
now I'm living my best life because I'm doing that. We
Yeah.
can't just have corporates.
Hmm.
We've got to fight.
IGA. IGA is an incredible, incredible organization because as a kid, it's so funny that you say 1998 because that's actually the year I was born. So when you said that, I was like, oh wow, no wonder why. No wonder why it was. It's such a like IGA to me is like at the time when I was a kid, I was like that that was the only place I knew to go to get like anything like food wise, house wise, anything realistically. And obviously over time that has changed. However,
Mm.
back then it was like IGA was the place to go
Yeah.
because of
Sadly,
you.
the
Thankfully,
model,
because of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. But sadly, the model hasn't changed, and that's why they're in a bit of trouble right now.
Yeah.
The whole because we've got to evolve, right? But I just
Yeah.
was trying to share why I'm so passionate and how it's always been what I'm trying to do. How do
Yeah.
I get all these people together under one banner? Because together we've got an opportunity to take it take it up and form our own uniqueness.
Yeah.
If I didn't do it, and I don't know what today would look like. One of the battles we had to face was all of our suppliers had to buy into it. So you
Yes.
imagine what negotiating with Mr. Woolworths.
Yeah.
They're a really powerful organization.
Hmm.
Remember the Bunnings and the Masters for the
Hmm.
hardware story in
Yes.
Australia? That, that they were able to leverage their buying power against their suppliers and say, if you supply them, you're not going to supply us.
Wow.
And Masters, where are they now? They're gone.
Yeah.
And we only got Bunnings left.
Yeah.
Uh, at a smaller scale, they did that against IGA. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
we don't want these independents to get organised because we're having a really good time buying them off.
Hmm.
Right? We get their great sites by just taking out our checkbook and buying them off.
Mm.
So like, it's we just can't let it happen in this country. We've got to
Of
go
course.
enough, enough.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I definitely understand that. It's I think it's going to be a lot of many shifts to come in our evolution as humans and even like society in the next couple of years.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. No, wow. If you could go back to your 15-year-old self, what's
Hmm.
one piece of advice about building a successful life and business? What would it be?
Yeah, you often think about that. I don't know if I'd do anything different.
Hmm.
Like I said, my time in corporate, they're very, very good trainers. The stuff I learnt there, I'm
Mhm.
applying today. So I don't think I'd change anything because I, I couldn't. I do believe there's a plan for us all to follow. What I probably would do differently, uh, I don't know how I would have done it, but some further education would have
Yes.
been, I think, the obvious that I could have or should have done. But I grew up in Griffith in Western New South Wales. The
Mhm.
opportunities, like, really, they weren't there.
Yeah.
Uh, with dyslexia, most of my school holidays were spent, parents doing the best thing they can for me, sending me to remedial schools. Like,
Yes.
great
Mhm.
holidays, going to a remedial school in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So yeah, or to sit, I don't believe I'd do anything different, but if you pushed me on the question, I probably would have found some more ways to continue my education. But you don't know what you don't know, remember?
Absolutely.
If
Yeah.
you got parents who said you're this way,
Yeah.
okay, I'm that way.
Yeah.
And they
So
have
true.
such from their best interest. They weren't doing it out of anything else, but like, yes, some more education would have probably stimulated some other parts of me that are dormant or not dormant. But I can't look back. I'm not going to. I'd rather be looking forward.
That's incredible. Thank you for the
Mm.
answer. I really appreciate that. Wow.
Yeah, probably not what you were
No,
looking for, but
no, I
it's
love that. Well, because you say education is something that you like that you most likely would have prioritized like more of back then. Hence why obviously, you read a lot of books, you love books, hence why you wrote,
yeah,
you publish books as well. So it shows a lot about you as a person that you love education, which is incredible because that's the only way you
mm,
can really build is through education.
yeah.
My closing question is, are you proud of where you are today?
Um, Without any quiver or gap in my voice, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I have the best life,
Hmm.
the best.
Yeah.
I live in paradise on the mid north coast of New South Wales on a beach where people come for holidays.
Yeah.
This is my home, right? I have a partner, like I said, who is Canadian. So I regularly get the opportunity to travel around the world. And lucky enough, my computer works in Canada as
Oh,
well. So
that's good.
I just
That's
open it up and
awesome.
I run my business from there. Uh, so I have the best life. I've got two fantastic children who
Mhm.
are really making their marks in the world. Uh, as you see behind, I've got some terrible habits and Cuban cigars and pretty known for a martini on a Friday. So yeah, 100% got great clients who are actually making a difference. Like I said, 1,900 patients that this audiologist is now
Mhm.
uh, working with. So yeah, spiritually, financially,
Mhm.
goal driven.
Mhm.
I couldn't and don't ask for anything more. I've got some really great friends. I don't have a lot,
Yeah.
like I could count them on a hand,
Yeah.
but oh my God, I'm so
Close friends
blessed to
that
have
mean a lot
them.
to you.
Yeah, I'm so blessed to have
That's
a great
incredible.
partner and great friends.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Where can people find you if they feel like they could benefit from what you do?
Well, we're on every social, of course. We're
Yeah.
in CUB. If you're a CUB member, I'm in the Sydney city uh, every fortnight. You'll find me there, so you can reach me on the CUB app, but you can get me on LinkedIn. I've also got a YouTube channel where I've got a lot of useful information called the Entrepreneur Alchemist. So you can
Yeah.
search me there and find me on there. There's a lot of there. And if you actually want to buy a book, you can get that on Amazon and all the places you get the great books.
I
But
love that.
yeah, all the socials,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook. LinkedIn, I'm very active on, so I'll probably first place go to LinkedIn.
Hmm. LinkedIn.
And
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, there's also the links through to YouTube, so you can just shortcut the or put it into AI. Up on
True.
Chris
True.
Mackay.
Oh, awesome. Look, Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I encourage you to get a book out there.
Look, hey, if I end up doing it, you'll be the first person to know.
Thank you. And look, just imagine you could use all this content
Yeah.
of everyone you're talking to
Hmm.
into like the roadmap for the future.
I know. Well, it's been something on my mind that because yeah, it's been something on my mind. Well, when I put out the post originally, I was like, well, what if there was a behind the scenes, mini doco about it, like why, about starting it, what I've learned through it, and just the conversation I've been able to have with people along the way, and that would be an incredible story, I believe, to tell to people.
Yeah,
Mm,
it would be. And
mhm,
and how many do you need to influence? How many people's lives
mhm.
do you need to influence to be able for you to go, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like put a
Yeah,
number on it.
yeah, number,
All it's got to be is
yeah,
greater than one, right? Just
oh,
imagine
yeah,
just one person.
hmm,
I'd be happy.
hmm. I think it's interesting that because when you will have a certain way that you live or abide by, right? Like lifestyle wise, and then you'll have someone that's within your inner circle and they say, "Hey, you've actually made me change the way I see things because of what you preach, like, how you live, what you do." And I've only had ever had that from one of my friends, and it caught me off guard because I was like, well, I've never thought I was a person that could do that. And I still don't think I
Mhm.
am. Imposter syndrome, right?
Yep.
So that was that at that moment I was like, well, I asked him why, and he was like, oh, it's just because like I understand now as to why you live the way that you do, like why your belief is the way that it is, and is like it's actually helped me improve my side of my life. And I was like, thanks. So it
Mm.
it caught me off guard, and I'd assumed that you would obviously have the same thing in your boat, hopefully, where people get influenced by you, and you're like, oh, I never thought of that being an outcome at all. So
Mm.
mm,
Yeah.
it's
Step
incredible.
into it.
Yeah, I know. I know it's well because in Australia, what we've got the tall poppy syndrome,
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, so it's stomping that belief and then just believing that obviously, like you said, if you think you can do it, you realistically you can do it.
And it's never been easy to do it.
Absolutely. Apart from yeah, now realistically, so it's incredible.
It's never been
Awesome.
easier.
Yeah,
And you never know what it will would lead to. But don't do it for that reason. No,
of
do it
course.
for whatever your particular reason, but don't not do it. You are leaving a legacy. You are leaving a thumbprint somewhere that somebody one day could pick up on or um, find some value in it. But it's just speaking your truth. It's like, I'm okay. You can judge me. Give it your best, but I'm okay because I've done this. You're going to call me an imposter because I wrote this? I'm cool with that. Have a
Yeah.
go at me.
Yeah.
Please bring it on.
Yeah. No, of course. No, awesome. Well, Chris, it's been a
Thank you,
pleasure.
man.
No, no worries.